Hopefully this works. Hey!
Hey!
Hopefully this is working. We've been trying for like a really long time to get this working, and it wasn't.
We weren't trying to be fashionably late. We were just having technical difficulties.
Can everyone hear us okay? And see us, hopefully?
Hopefully.
Before we even get into this video, we should say this is completely live, unedited, unfiltered, so...
One camera, there's not going to be any B-roll sequences, beautiful music, none of that.
Yeah, none of that. So whenever we do a live video, we always get questions being like, why is the quality of this video so bad? So we just
I prefer it when you use your big camera. So.
Yeah. So we just thought we'd say this is just a webcam and our laptop. So yeah, thank you for joining us. We had a pretty tumultuous and stressful week. It's been a lot. Our camera lens smashed, our truck is smashed.
Yeah.
We're no longer living at the land.
Yeah, so it's been a hard one, and we just weren't in the mindset to sit down and relive it with editing.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're really trying to focus on in 2021 is balancing our love of creating content as well as our mental health.
Yeah.
And we made the decision that the best thing was for us to step back from posting a video. So thank you all for joining us on a live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be back with our regular video this coming Sunday, like in a week from now. It was just it was too much to relive how we cried like 5 times this week.
We cried, we cursed. The land was put up for sale 5 different times out of frustration. We're like, we're just selling it and going, but we're going to stick it out. It's been really nice. So a lot of people are asking, where are we? So there's some work that's going on. If you remember from last week's video, we were doing trenching on one half of the property, and that was getting down to the dome. Well, this week we were supposed to trench the solar field over to the powerhouse and have that stuff ready. In order to do that, we had to move Connie, the RV, out of there, and that's where things just went awry. Nothing went right. And so we're living in my parents' driveway.
Yeah, so Todd's parents live, I guess like probably 5 minutes from where we are, from where the land is.
You get to listen to one song, so usually probably more like 3.5 minutes.
Which is really convenient. Like, obviously, it's nice to have family nearby. But yeah, we love Todd's family, but we're ready to have our own space.
I'm just ready for things to start going right. It's been a week. Like, literally, maybe 40 minutes ago we crashed the truck?
Yeah.
So it's just been a lot.
Yeah. But anyway,
yeah,
it is what it is. Like, we can't do anything about it. We're just going to try and make the most of it, but making the most of shitty and difficult situations has its limit. So anyway, that's that on that. More on that next Sunday.
Yeah, we're not gonna relive all that this week. This week we wanted to take a chance to answer some questions. There's been a lot of questions people ask us.
Yeah.
It seems like the perfect way. The comments, we're trying to focus on them as well, but they are coming in fast and hot, and we're doing our best to get through them. So if we're not answering your comments, it's not that we're ignoring you. It's literally our eyes can only read so fast.
Yeah, and we do have quite a few questions that were sent in on a mixture of things. Bunch from Instagram, some from YouTube, and then also Patreon. So yeah, we're just gonna answer some. Todd has some, and then I also have some. Also, just out of curiosity, how is the image quality? Like, is it bright? Is it dark?
Like, it looks like it just got really dark.
Yeah, all of a sudden for no reason.
Yeah.
Can everyone see?
We haven't even touched the camera settings. So the first question that we've been getting asked a lot, though, while Tyler's working on the camera settings,
dark
down there, is how is Charlie doing? So he's now, 4 weeks since we've been to PEI, I think?
Sorry, I'm just trying to update these settings to make it a little bit brighter if I can.
So we're on the home stretch of weaning him off of his steroids. There was a period in the middle that didn't go very well. For 2 days, he would vomit. Hi, squirrel. He would vomit every 30 to 45 minutes. That was just part of him body getting used to not having these steroids. Since then, he's actually passed that hurdle. He is thriving now. One thing, we're working on finding a new food. Since his kidneys are in renal failure, he has to have a certain type of food, but
whoa,
that got real bright. But he won't eat that anymore because he has a food aversion from throwing it up for 2 days. So we're just working through on finding new renal food for him.
Yeah, this is as good as I can get it. It still looks a little bit dark, but I don't know. Yeah, so hopefully that's okay. This is stressful.
Oh my, yeah. Now you know what it's like when we're trying to set the camera up for shots and stuff.
For regular shots, yeah. Yeah, so Charlie's still very much like on the road to recovery. We're
hopeful. A blood sample went out this week.
Yeah.
Back to PEI. That way we didn't have to drive over. So hopefully we'll get some good news from that and be able to move forward with the biopsy. And the goal for all of this is not to, we know he'll never return to what he was, but it's to give him the best quality of life for whatever time he's got left. I think that's something that we've come to realize now.
Yeah, like it's been that's the best way to put it. So this is a very like timely question. Hold on one second. I'm just going to update a quick thing. Someone said it looks like the contrast is low, which...
Oh, this is what it's like being married to an editor.
Well, we shouldn't have used a webcam. We should have just used the camera like on our little computer here. But
I did a terrible job of washing this glass.
Yeah, you did. So Michael Z asks, do you ever think, man, let's just F this homestead YouTube thing and let's get
the sun's.
Do you ever think, man, let's just F this homestead YouTube thing and just get an apartment somewhere and chill? Or are you unwavering in your commitment?
This week was a really, really bad week. There was no positive spins on anything. No amount of jingles was going to make this week any better.
Yeah.
And that definitely crossed our minds. But at the end of the day, we're both stubborn and we know that we'll be able to push through and get this project completed. It's just, we've had to really step back and accept that the timelines, like we're now expecting to finish the whole land project in fall of 2023.
Yeah, it's taken a lot longer than we thought just because we're doing so much of it ourselves, but we also would never be able to afford to build what we're building if we were hiring people to do it. Like, we're taking our time with it. And I personally would never change what we're doing, or we have like stressful moments, I guess, but I want to live off grid. My goal when all of this is done, or our goal, I guess, is, and I don't know if we've talked about this very much, but we really want to have a property that we own that we don't owe anything on. So we're mortgage free. So we don't have any monthly expenses. We don't want to have any power or water expenses. So all of our like utilities are paid for. We don't want to
excluding heat because
no, mainly the heat will be covered from the solar.
Oh,
the
true.
I
gotta rework my budget. I got some extra spending cash.
Look out, boys! I'm going to the shops. So then, and then on top of that, we're both plant-based, as many of you know. So to be able to grow our own food in a greenhouse, we're going to be building it's called a growing dome, and it's a 4-season greenhouse. So the ability for us to grow our own food and to basically
Arctic Acres is the company, if anyone's curious.
Check it out.
In Canada, it's called Arctic Acres, and if you're in America, it's called Growing Spaces. Same technology.
Super cool technology.
Super cool.
So our goal is to be able to like live independently and not have any expenses. So then that way, when all of this project is done, we are financially independent. We don't have to do jobs we don't want to do. As some of you know, we left corporate jobs that really didn't make us happy. Oh, thank you. Thanks for the super chats, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, it's been a
frazzled.
Oh man.
So the point being is we're were in jobs that really made us unhappy. And the whole motivation of moving into an RV and the land and all of that was to be able to seek some sort of financial independence. So
I think that kind of ties into another question that we get asked often, especially now that we're moving ahead with bigger and larger projects, is how do we fund these things?
That was actually a question. Rose Smith said, "Can I ask about money? You guys are living the life that I want to, but I've never been able to see through it financially. How do you fund your projects?"
So it's kind of a different thing. So everyone needs to live somewhere. So whether you're paying rent, whether you're paying a mortgage, we've been living at the land and in our trailer, saving money for a long time. So we do have a bit of a savings, but on top of this, we run our own business. And I think that's something that we don't really discuss anymore very often.
So if you're new, we own a real estate business. So when we used to live here in Nova Scotia and we moved out, I guess like 8 years ago, something like that. I think it was like 2014. And we worked really hard to save up all of our money to buy old houses and renovate them and then rent them out. So then that sort of gave us like some cash flow. And
we did a flip and hold motto. I keep looking at Lily. Sorry, she hit the print button, so we just printed a screenshot.
She's trying to get the bugs.
Okay.
Stop
sorry, I get sidetracked with the comments.
Stop reading them.
So yeah, we do the flip and hold method where we flip them, we renovate them, and then we have them reappraised, and we pull that equity out and move on to the next project. And then each one of those, we have a mixture. We have long-term rentals and we have short-term as in vacation rentals. That way we have like our fixed income, and then we have variable income that spikes and flows as the seasonality of tourism does. Really?
You're going to be going in the room. Like Charlie's sleeping on the floor. Oh, hey, buddy.
It's because she slept all day.
Hey, look at Charlie. To answer that question in like a little bit more specific detail, I guess I thought of a really great example. So if you caught the video we did a few weeks ago where we built the foundation for the dome that we're building that it's going to sit on. So the helical piles and all of the lumber and everything that went into building that deck, we got so many quotes because truth be told, we thought that it was outside of our skill set, that we wouldn't be able to take on a project that big. So we were convinced we were going to hire a company and got a bunch of quotes, and they came in at around $35,000 just for a deck. Well, it's not a deck, it's a foundation. Like it's...
Yeah, but it is a big deck, but at the end of the day, it's a deck. That's a lot.
Yeah.
When you compare that into like a house cost.
Yeah. So we were like flabbergasted and like blown away by how expensive that was. So we made the decision to learn how to build a deck and, you know, do everything that we could to take on that project ourselves. And in the end, our foundation ended up costing $14,000.
The deck, with the deck on it, not just, I want to make sure, not just the helical piles, the deck and all.
Yes, the foundation for our dome.
For the dome. Okay.
You see where I'm going with that?
I get there. It's just, if you've watched our videos, you know Tyler's not the best storyteller. He can still tell it through video, but if he wants to, if you want someone to tell you a good story, you got to come to Uncle Todd.
So, the point being is we made the decision to take that project on ourselves, and in doing so, we saved $21,000. Much like all of the projects that we've done at the land, I can't even fathom what it would be for everything that we've done. Like even like our water filtration system, like that was $7,500, and we only spent $500.
It's also we have a vision and we have a goal and we know where we're going with the land, and so we've been watching sales. Like we've got time on our side. We're in no rush. We've got an RV to live in. Soon we'll have a dome to live in. So we're also very thankful for
Thank you, Craig. Craig said pound a nail in my name.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, we've been like buying our materials and our supplies. Like we've got almost all the stuff to go inside of the dome in storage now because we've been shopping for it since the spring as we see them go on sale. So that's another way that we've been able to do this very affordably.
And I think truly the biggest, I guess, consideration that people don't really factor in is the projects that we're doing. It may seem like it's expensive, I guess, but we have zero living costs. Like we live completely off grid. We live in an RV. Like we don't have bills or anything. And in our old life, our mortgage and all of our utilities came out to be like around $2,000 a month for like, that's our mortgage, property taxes, heat, really like everything that would go into that. So in 1 year, that would be around $24,000 that we're saving. So I guess what I'm trying to say is when you live off grid, it's a lot cheaper. So you can put all of the money you would have been spending into building your infrastructure, like your solar panels and
we should do everything. So we actually, I know we've talked about it before. We want to do a podcast because I do think our story of how we got to where we are is rather interesting. So we've always known we wanted to be entrepreneurs and work for ourselves. So it started right in second year university, collecting garbage from garbage, but it was like people's old furniture, selling it on Kijiji, which is like Craigslist in Canada.
One thing I should say about that, like the best place that you can find like our full backstory that I can think of, our friends Eamon and Beck interviewed us on their podcast called Reroute. Yeah. Sorry, I was having a brain fart. And we explain like how we got to where we are and our full story. So if it's of interest,
if you want to know, there's a little bit of homework, but it is out there and it's really cool. And I think it's something that we can do like an entire episode on when we eventually get our podcast going. Because there are ways to set yourself up. You just got to know it from the beginning. We knew at 18 that working the corporate life was not for us, and we did everything that we needed to and sacrificed along the way.
Yeah, keep in mind, this is another question that we get asked all the time. This guy here is 31. I'm still in my 20s, but but we've been together since I was 17 and Todd was 18. So we've been together for like
long.
Oh, it just got bright.
The sun.
I know.
It's like a cloudy day, so as the clouds are moving by the sun, it's like.
So we've been together for like 13 years or so, and the core bedrock of our relationship has always been the desire to be independent and not to be able to do what we want to do and like chase crazy dreams.
And I think something that was really big for us was when we chose to give up our corporate jobs and really rely on our real estate. And then we also do some contract work for social media marketing.
Eduardo said, "Oh, damn, I was expecting you to be drunk on homemade wine." Stick around.
Stick around. We got homemade coolers.
Oh, okay. So what Todd was saying, I know. Todd made these. These are homemade coolers that Todd made. These ones are pineapple. Oh,
they're good.
They're really good.
So
we're saying something about
something important. Anyway,
couldn't have been too important. Okay, moving right along. Okay, so that answered Gail Fontaine's question. So she said, "How long have you been married?" Jane Capstick said, "What are your plans to get through winter?" We have robust plans for that.
Okay, so our plans have changed. This summer, July 5th, things completely changed for us. It completely threw our life in a tailspin. That was the day Charlie went into the hospital, and it threw our life into a tailspin. And I still feel as though I haven't been able to actually get my feet back under me and like know which way is up. But you're going to notice things happening what might seem chaotic or out of order at the land, but we've had to change our focus, and the goal is now going to be literally just getting structures up. So we're working on getting the infrastructure so we can have power and water to the growing dome and the dome home. 2 domes. We got to get a new shape.
I know.
And then once they're up and weather tight, our intention is to spend the winter finishing the insides of them, because we can live in the RV for a bit
Mm-hmm.
while we're finishing the inside of the dome home. And then once that's done, then we'll work on the inside of the growing dome. But it's just things didn't go to plan this summer, and we've just had to adjust our expectations and kind of live in a new reality, I guess.
Yeah. This winter, though, will be...
Didn't get it. Fruit fly flying around, yeah.
This winter, the way we're looking at it is, you know, we lived, if you caught last winter, if you've been watching the vlog that long, we lived in the RV without any water, no running water, no power. Like, it was truly roughing it. If we're able to do that, we can literally do anything. So this winter, like, we're gonna have the dome.
We're gonna have electricity without running bill.
Yeah,
that's our generator.
The one tricky thing is, and not to give too much away from next week's video, but we did have to leave the land, and we're not able to go back for hopefully a month, is like what we're hoping. But just everything sort of fell apart with the inspection, and it's kind of sad. Like, I get upset when I like think about it, and so I don't really want to like talk about it too much. But
just been it's been hard, and like
so the goal so the goal is like,
should have brought tissues.
Yeah, we're gonna set ourselves up, so we're gonna hopefully our dream is on Christmas morning we're gonna wake up and the dome is gonna be, we're gonna be in the dome, and whether we're gonna have a fireplace in the dome, we're gonna have a tree, and whether we have to sleep on a blow-up mattress, whether we have running water or not, it's gonna be okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're telling ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll see. Stay tuned for that one.
What advice would you give your 17 and 8-year-old selves? I don't think I
would give some advice.
I can't think of anything. I mean, there's definitely things that I wish I hadn't have done, but at the same time, everything led me to doing this live in my parents' driveway. So
31, living in a trailer in your parents' driveway.
So what advice do I mean? I mean, I'm living the good life.
The best advice I would give is to really not care at all what people think about you. And I've only really come into this since becoming a YouTuber. Like, it keeps glitching and getting bright. Sorry about that, guys. I think the biggest thing for me though is like, there are going to be so many people that say really great things about you, and there's going to be so many people that say really negative things about you, and caring too much about either is not good. So like, if, for example, right now there are 3,600 people sitting here right now watching this live. Wow. That is absolutely insane.
That's so
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's very surreal, and it would be easy to like have to read all the great things that people are saying about us, to like let that affect how we view ourselves. But like, we're the only ones that really know us and what our values are. And like, I think being like firm in your value system is really important, because then when someone says a really good thing about you, it doesn't affect you. And if somebody says a really bad thing about you, it doesn't affect you, because you're solid, you're on good footing. So just like,
that makes sense.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I do. Well, it's what I'm working through right now. So, that's something I guess I would tell my 18-year-old self is like, set boundaries early.
Yeah.
Because when you're 31 and you've never set boundaries in your life, it becomes very hard to build those, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because all the relationships in your life that you've like slowly let people like walk over you,
manipulate, or even, and it's a two-way street, but like, I need to set boundaries of what I give, and I need to set boundaries of what I take. And so that's something that I'm working through. It's a work in progress, but I feel as though since I've started on that path, my mental health is in a better place until this week.
At Van Wives asked, who are your best friends?
Okay, this is our best friends are Bella and Izzy, but unfortunately, we have to deal with Crystal and Jazz whenever we see Bella and Izzy.
Their moms are a real nightmare.
They're a real nightmare to deal with.
No, Crystal and Jazz, if you know our friends, the Van Wives, hands down, best friends in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's cool that we do the same thing for a living. We're both, like, we're all YouTubers, but that's probably one of the best things that has come from this whole YouTube journey. And, like, the fact that now we're neighbors is even cooler.
Yeah. And the water cooler talk is good.
Yeah. Well, it's just nice to have somebody to, like, be able to, you guys wouldn't even believe
I got like a floaty in my drink and I'm trying to drink around it, but it's at the point where it keeps coming out.
The amount of voice notes that we send, we probably send each other like 20 voice notes a day. It's ridiculous, but they're very, very just great people. Who they are in their videos is who they are in real life. And let me tell you, that is a rare thing on YouTube.
It is.
Very, very rare. So they're amazing.
Yeah, I'm 43 and trying to learn to set boundaries.
Thank you, Amy, by the way. Appreciate it. I don't know if I have any other questions. I think that was all that I had. I had one more. Julius Dixon said, how much closer has this experience brought you together? I'll tell you what.
Doesn't get closer than this.
Does not get any closer than this.
It's actually kind of weird how close we are because like I just don't like being away from him now. I get like separation anxiety. I'm like the dog that chews the baseboard when Tyler goes away.
Well, like we spend every waking moment together, and for some couples, I'm sure that sounds claustrophobic, maybe. I don't know what the right word is.
But this is the way I feel about it. If you're married, living, loving with someone, and you aren't able to spend a large amount of time together, you probably shouldn't be with that person. Whether that means there's another person out there or it's completely okay to be alone. Like some people, that's how they thrive. But I think if you're choosing to cohabitate, run a business, and share your life with someone, you better like that person.
Yeah, I agree.
I had some questions, but I didn't take the names.
Oh, well, next time you should do that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Todd's not much for the all this stuff.
Yeah, like I'm the type of person, I have a cell phone, it's here, but I don't typically like I set it down and walk away from it. I'm not on things. It comes with boundaries and stuff. I'm really working on sort of creating when I'm allowing the outside world in. And that's something we get asked a lot, like living at the land, about social interactions. Do we miss people? Why do we choose to go so far away from people? All this type of stuff. And Tyler and I are actually very introverted people, and we get social anxiety when we're in large groups or when we go into like busy places. So it actually is a way for us to like, it removes that sensory overload for us, I guess, and allows us to just actually relax and be happy. We lived the suburbia life and always having to see people and stuff. It's very hard for us. That's just the way that we're wired. We're not, which is kind of crazy considering we share our lives on YouTube, but surprisingly, we're very,
Guys, I'm sorry. I'll never use this webcam again. This is beyond stressful. Like, the light just keeps changing.
Also probably doesn't help that the entire room is windows.
I just hate, like, being overexposed.
Okay, questions. So someone was asking, there was a lot of questions coming in about the dome. When are we starting it? How are we intending to furnish it? What size is the dome? All that type of stuff. So the dome we're building is a geodesic dome tent. We're doing a 26-foot diameter tent, which gives us 530 square feet, which is more than double the 210 we currently live in. So I don't know what we're going to do with all this space, but I'm really excited for that. Furnishing, we have an idea of what we want it to look like, but we're really struggling with understanding the complexities of building in a sphere. My mom just got home, so we're waving to her. So we are basically, our plan is we have the components that we want. Like we've got the fridge, we've got the cooktop, all that stuff. And we're going to build the dome and then measure and tape the floor and figure out a flow that really works for us. Because what we're really struggling with is the curvature of the walls and how close we can actually place stuff to them. And once we get the dome up, I think that will really move it along quicker.
Yeah, that's our hope anyway. But it's going to be a pretty big project to get that together, I think.
Yeah. Someone said, do you think you'll love the dome so much you'll not want to build the house? It's interesting.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But I think that there'll be a period of the year, particularly fall, that we'll move into the dome and not live in the other house because it's in the trees and it has all the colors, like the reds, the orange, the yellows. It's so beautiful.
The house, can I just say though, the house that we're building, I mean, it's only a little over 1,000 square feet, but it is the coolest house I've ever seen.
Yeah. We've shared it on Patreon.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We shared the floor plan on there. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Also,
it's the first. This is another thing that we're dealing with. So we literally this past week just got permission to start putting the foundation in for the house.
So
on top of that, we now once that's done, we it's just a very unique build. It's the first one of its kind in this area. And so
there's like only a few in all of Nova Scotia, which makes sense. Like the engineering for this house was insane.
Yeah. And to make sure, we actually had it engineered twice because we're even a little suspect on it. So we wanted to make sure that it was done properly. So yeah, it's just, I think it's going to be an uphill battle though, working with our local government because they want this type of building. They approved it, but they don't quite understand that it's not a cookie cutter house.
Yeah, our goal is to hopefully start the construction of the house in the spring. Like that's why we want to have the dome like all like ready and
well, we're going to be starting this coming week, signing the contract with the go ahead
and the foundation.
Because the outside of the house is going to be built off site and then it's actually going to be craned over top of the trees and dropped back in. And then we'll take over finishing the inside of the house once it's weather tight. And there are different things too. It is different in Nova Scotia. So for instance, we're not allowed to do the plumbing. We're not allowed to do the electrical. There's certain things that we legally cannot do. And that's because of how the building code is written here. So
yeah.
So
anyway, but what Todd was saying though about Patreon, we did share it on there. One thing that I will say about Patreon, it is a really, really important tool for us as content creators to be able to share not only authentic content, but to not have to like resort to always taking sponsors or taking sponsors that we don't believe in. Like as you know, we're really selective about that.
My mom's walking by again.
And if you like the format of this sort of video, we're doing a live video this coming Wednesday at 8 p.m. Our time, Atlantic time. The cool thing about Patreon is it's not like one way like this. Like you guys are watching right now for wherever you're from, but it's just us talking. Where when we go live on Patreon, it's like we're FaceTiming.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, yeah. So if you want to check that out, I really encourage you to check our Patreon in the description box down below of this video. You can just click the link and go there. Totally understand it's not for everyone.
I also love our patrons because they just get it. I think it's a really, really cool community of like-minded people and they understand the complexities of like what we're dealing with. Like anyone building a house is stressful, let alone like documenting that build is also another complexity. And
oh, thanks. Look at everyone, all of the Patreon members.
Yeah.
Talking about how great it is. I appreciate that, you guys. So anyway, yeah, that's that. You have your questions.
I almost dropped my phone. Just got this phone and I dropped it the other day and cracked the back thing. Who are your best friends? I had that one. Are we doing geothermal heating? No, we're not doing geothermal for the house, but we are going to do in the growing dome a really cool system called GAT, ground air heat transfer, which basically the way that a greenhouse works in the summer, they get really hot up high where the heat rises, and typically that would exhaust out the top. Rather than just wasting that heat, we're going to be installing pipes that will take it 4 feet into the ground and push that heat down in the ground, and then exhaust the cool air back into the greenhouse to keep it at a stable temperature. But then on the flip side, the system will, and it sounds complicated, but it's really just piping and a fan. It's not complicated. It's time consuming, but we're going to do it. So then in the winter, it'll flip and it'll blow the cold air from the greenhouse down into the ground and bring that hot air that we've stored in a thermal bank back up and heat the greenhouse. And we've watched a couple of these that are in like Alberta and like Montana and those things, and they keep them at about 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is for our American friends, but consistently throughout the winter, which
probably
is
like 75. You can Todd's
my dad's here too. Gotta get security around here with some barricades.
So yeah, it'll be warm enough that we'll be able to grow like
I want to plant.
Thank you, everyone. We're just getting like a bunch of emails of all of you joining our Patreon. Super excited to hang out with you guys live.
You were so close.
77.
25 is 77 Fahrenheit, which is a decent temperature. So I think we'll be able to grow. Like my goal is to grow either an avocado or a banana tree in it. So we'll see how that.
I want to give a couple quick shout outs. Shout out to Michael Schreiber, Margaret Stewart, Carrie Krausen, and Her Gar. 4 new patrons. We really appreciate it, you guys.
Okay, more questions.
More questions, yeah.
Okay. Do you really enjoy working together? It depends on the day and if Tyler's had enough coffee.
So, okay. I will admit I'm a pretty terrible person if I haven't had caffeine. Like there's not really.
Our day starts with me getting out of bed and putting the kettle on to make a coffee because we do pour over because like there's nothing like a pour over coffee.
Oh no. Crystal and Jazz,
we
talk about this all the time. So
their coffee machine.
Whenever we're with them, they make if they're here, I'm sure they're here. What is that called? You won't know.
Bravo.
No, but when you make a coffee that way, it's called something specific.
Bougie.
rich people coffee. It's like you like grind it and then you push it in like in a little thing. It's like when you go to a coffee shop. It's how they make it. Holy smokes. Not only that, but they're very, very particular about their coffee and they
grind it proper. I throw ours in
it's bad.
I blend our beans in the blender because it's quicker. The coffee, the little grinder, like that's not enough to do the whole week. I dump that bag in that, I flick it on. A few minutes later, I got coffee for a week.
Everyone's saying coffee press or French press. I don't know.
It's not a French press because the French press is that one. It's an actual like machine where they have the little thing and they go in like that. They go like that with it and then they put it in and turn it and then they push the coffee and then it's really good.
It's fantastic. All right, keep going with the question.
This was a really interesting question. It was like, how do
espresso machine? Jeez.
Do we encounter a large amount of homophobia from locals and contractors here? Which I find a very interesting question because
when you pay the bills, you don't get to be homophobic. Actually, that's
in Alberta.
True. Yeah,
they do.
Yeah,
and I had that one contractor.
Yeah, that's true.
Brought me to tears, like with how that phone conversation went, and so
we've had a few situations actually here that people are rude, but then we ask them to leave.
Yeah,
like remember that inspector?
Yeah, but he was rude because his parents don't love him.
That's true. The way that we look at it though is like if we're interviewing a contractor to potentially work with them or like give them business and you're going to be like standoffish or rude, that's going to financially cost you. So like,
well, it's kind of like
just go.
Everything in life.
Yeah.
People, unfortunately, the way the world is set up is people don't have a lot of power. The only power you have is how you choose to spend the money you have. And so if someone's going to be a dick or have homophobic tendencies on my land, you're not getting a penny from me, because I'll find another contractor. Like electricians, you're not the only electrician. So, yeah.
His parents don't love him. You got to keep your phone open so you can
Sorry, I guess
keep the questions.
My phone auto locks after 30 seconds. I don't know how to change it.
Can I say one thing? This is a weird side note, but one thing that we've been actually really loving about being back at Todd's parents' house is a year and a half ago when COVID first happened. This is where we lived. This webcam is gonna make me snap. I know you guys don't care.
We could have put newsprint on the windows.
We could have bought more than a $50 webcam.
Yeah, but
that shouldn't.
Things are expensive nowadays.
Things are expensive. It's expensive when you smash a $1,500 lens and you cost $5,000 worth of bodywork in your truck. I did the lens. Todd did the truck.
What happened?
What had happened was
we said we weren't going to discuss this on camera. So what happened was at my parents were parked over. I say over there as if everyone knows where we are, but we were parked over on the other side and we couldn't get their Wi-Fi. And also there's no cell signal. So we couldn't do the live. So we had to tow it over by their house. We're literally
Todd's parents were trying to set up a cell booster. I don't know if they're watching this right now. They probably are.
We're literally parked right by their deck.
Our RV.
We're the most obnoxious people to ever offer to stay at your house, because we come in and literally make ourselves your home is no longer your home. It is our home, and we ask that you respect it.
When we're done this live, we'll post a photo on Patreon of I'm dead serious. We're parked smack
slides out.
Slides out. And
I got a garden hose run over because when we're done, we're filling up on water. It's great. Anyway.
Back to what we were talking about.
Fucked the truck. Oh, I swore. Whatever. Can't fix the truck. Can't take that back. Well, it didn't lock in proper. I don't know what was happening. We were scrambling, and my mind's not fully there lately, and I don't know what happened. And I
know what happened. So when you hook your RV in, you have to hook it into the what's she called?
Oh, come on, you know what happened.
What is that called?
Hitch.
You hook your fifth wheel into the hitch, and then you lock the kingpin. And we were rushing because we were going to be a little bit.
Didn't lock proper.
We were going to be a little bit late for the live.
And so because it didn't lock proper, when we pulled out, there's a hill that you got to start on. Well, trailer slid out of the hitch, dropped on the back, dented the back of the crushed the box.
Crushed.
And the tailgate is
you can't win them all.
Anyway, tomorrow we're going to start the day by calling our insurance company and figuring out if we have trailer ruined the back of my truck coverage.
I'm an idiot and I was rushing. Do you cover that? Now, what's the deductible on
Probably shouldn't put this out there in case the adjudicator's on here. You know what? Insurance, I think you pay for no fault insurance. Isn't that? No, this is my fault. TD, don't listen.
If you're listening, TD, close it now.
You're going to want to put your earmuffs on.
Delete this video. Delete this video. Did we mention too that we probably won't leave this live up for ever?
Someone says it's covered, so.
Linda says, what's the name of your Patreon? We picked a really, really unique name. We went with Tyler and Todd.
Yeah. We that's what we use for everything because we wanted something
comprehensive. Yes, actually.
I knew we had it. It's just the scary part is I think we were well, we're never going to need to use vehicle insurance, and I'm pretty sure we have a really high $2,000 deductible or something to keep the monthly payments down, and that's going to bite us in the ass right now.
Man, oh man, hey.
Oh, bye. But you know what we're going to do? The insurance, it's Sunday. I'm sure they're closed. So we're just going to have a good time tonight and worry about it tomorrow. With our homemade coolers. You know what? We'll do
It's bad luck if you don't drink after a Cheers.
what's the worst that could happen? We got a 500-foot long 4-foot hole right through the land right now.
TD gives you one freebie.
I said, can I get 2?
Yeah, we definitely use that one.
I got a dent on my other car.
Give me a twofer or I walk.
I got a BOGO coupon.
Okay.
This was a question. Can Miss Lily go outside yet? So we've been working on trying to, before everything, like it has been, when we say the land is a mess, like it is a mess. Like the dogs haven't been there in over a week because it's not safe. And so she was going outside. We had her tied to the umbrella with a little harness, but then she got out
and she fell
in the trench. So then we left. We brought her out.
No, so she actually, where is she?
She's probably in the bed. Squirrel.
Yeah, she's sitting on the bed. I can see her. Yeah, she did fall in the hole, and that was sad.
But she was fine.
Yeah.
But then she fell back in, and then that one really did her. And then she didn't want to go outside for a few days. I don't blame her.
Where are we going with that?
Who drew Todd Tyler logo at the beginning? An artist that we hired.
Yeah, we hired a graphic designer. Mm-hmm. We've been thinking that we might hire the same graphic designer to like rebuild the design to include Lily, and then
I already did that.
You did that already?
Yes.
Wow, between the truck and the camera lens and that, we're gonna have no money. Did you really do that?
Yeah, I did it yesterday.
Why wouldn't you tell me that?
I did, but you don't listen to me.
Yeah.
Happily married.
Okay.
Are you guys in the RV? I like literally want to. Can I turn the camera to show them my parents' house out the window?
Sure.
Like, they're right there.
Turn it so like there's
like we're right there.
So
we're like one step away from just parking on the front lawn, so we're closer to the door.
Yeah. It is nice though. Like hanging out with them is kind of nice. Like we can, just open our RV door and walk over and like have some like drinks and like order food with them. That's been really cool.
Well, and the boys really love going to Grandma and Granddad's. So it's kind of nice because we can open the door and they're already there.
Yeah. Can I show this?
Sure.
I think that this is the coolest thing ever. So one of our patrons, his name is Kyle. He made this. Look how amazing this is. Oh, it got a lot of focus.
It's so nice. I love it.
I love it. It's made on birch wood, I believe. And it's you probably can't tell, but it's like burned in, like embossed, I guess you'd say. And it's
Are you Eddie stuck there without the truck? So like this literally happened. Maybe
we're connected to the truck right now, and I don't think that the truck opens.
Yeah, like it happened an hour and a half ago that this slid off, and we're scared to open the tailgate because we didn't want to disconnect it. Because the way that backing into a fifth wheel works, you back in so far, close your tailgate, and then continue to back into the hitch. So until we're ready to disconnect it, we can't try and open the tailgate. So that's going to be the fun tonight.
Stay tuned on that.
I'm going to just get a big hammer and hit it, I think.
It's fully charged. You don't need to have that on.
Sorry.
Eileen asked a good question. A quick summary for those, wow.
English.
A quick summary of why we're not at the land. For those people who are just joining, she said that. The very quick and dirty Coles notes, and you will have more of a, I guess, full synopsis of how it happened in next Sunday's video. But we did 500 feet of trenching all across the entire land to build all of our solar lines and all of our water lines.
And we're also... we're trying to future-proof it, so we're worried that our Wi-Fi isn't going to go. So we're even running like a spare conduit in case we down the road need to run an Ethernet cable through it. Like we're trying to do everything as smart as we can because that's something we learned from last year. Is we were kind of like half-assing things or like just making it work.
Flying by the seat of our pants.
And we had to undo so much of the work that we did last year. So like we don't want to do that again. It's not a good use of time.
Yeah. So the quick and dirty of it is basically anywhere you could step on the land has a 4-foot massive trench deep, like 4 feet deep.
And it's about this wide all the way through. I wanted to put a kiosk. Oh wow, a crow on the roof of the shed. That's a big crow.
That's a big crow.
Make a big stew out of that, wouldn't you?
Crow stew!
Oh, 1 for 1.
Oh, 1 for 1. Oh.
Don't forget to drink.
So, Eileen, to answer your question, we also had our inspection, our electrical inspection for all the work that we did, and that went about as bad as it could go, and we had to scram out of there. Scram.
Oh, back to my idea. I think we should put a kiosk up at the driveway and sell tickets and say that it's the world's 8th wonder, and it could be like competition for the Grand Canyon.
Todd and I had this amazing idea though. When the land is fully finished, the Christmas thing.
Oh, we have 2 good ideas.
So we wanted So we thought it'd be really cool one day to do. Don't. I don't. Can you imagine if I just project on? We want to do a haunted land tour. I think would be really cool.
But like as a fundraiser for like the local pride organization here or a homeless shelter or something like that.
Yeah, so like to have like everyone in the community to like come over and like
gotta remember to take the chain off the chainsaws for the people running around scaring people.
Yeah, I don't need a lawsuit. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
We already got 1 insurance claim.
Hi, TD.
Yeah, about that BOGO. We're going to skip the car and go for the kid's arm.
So, we thought it'd be really cool as like a charity to do like a super spooky like Halloween land tour, and then for Christmas to make it like Christmas at the land and make it so magical, and to raise money like to just do like $5 at the gate or something,
or food bank donations,
or but to give it for food banks so that like people that can't afford to like have like a Christmas dinner or something like that. I think that'd be really cool.
I think it'd be really cool.
Not this year, obviously, because I mean you'd fall in a hole and break your leg, but next year. Stay tuned.
What's it called?
What?
Tiny Tim, whoever it is from Scrooge, the one with the cane. He'd definitely have a hard time getting out of that hole.
Oh yeah. Tiny Tim would be buried in that hole. Anyway, that was a little tangent.
Does anyone have any questions for us?
Oh yeah, we're
out of our questions now.
Do you have all of them done?
Yeah, a lot of duplicates. Seems like we were reading the same questions. Oh, why Nova Scotia? That was a question that we got asked. Well, when COVID first hit, we were in Tampa.
I gotta turn some lights on. I can't handle this, you guys.
We were in Tampa, which is directly south of Nova Scotia. So we made the decision to come back up and go to my parents' house, and we were just going to ride it out for a few weeks until COVID went away. We figured just wait till the wind blows. And here we are.
Wait till the wind blows. Also, we really, really love living here. Like, I can't imagine living anywhere else. It's just like one of the most beautiful places in the world,
stunning.
I think.
I remember that when Crystal and Jazz were like first looking at places, they were like, where should we go? And we like tried to explain to them that each area that you go in the province has such a unique feel, and the topography and like plants and everything is just so diverse no matter where you go.
Yeah.
So
people are getting mad at me
that
I keep adjusting. Like when it gets dark, I keep adjusting. Oh, thank you for it went too quick. Jay Ingham, thank you. You guys really don't have to do super chats, by the way.
Yeah,
it's so unnecessary, and I don't know if like other YouTubers talk about this, but whenever you give a super chat, YouTube takes like 45% of it. It's absolutely insane. So like if somebody does like $100 super chat, a YouTuber actually only gets like
60. I think it's 30%.
Anyway, it's really, really high. That's why we started a Patreon, because like it's YouTube is just wild.
And I feel like honestly, if you're looking to contribute to the land project, or like to us, or it's weird, we're not like that type of person. Like, I hate receiving gifts. I'd rather you do it on Patreon so that you actually get something back, because we're doing it like, do you know like
I feel like we're like really pushing Patreon, and I don't mean to that's not our intention at all. We're just trying to say like
because we get asked, like, people will message like, can I send you a package, all these things. Like, if someone's giving me something, I want them to get something in return for it. I don't just want to, I'm not that type of person that's like, gimme.
Can't you see? What's like, that song? Gimme. Mm-hmm.
Biggie.
Oh, fuck. Oh!
2-1! We'll call it even. You get 2 F-bombs, I get 1, but I ruined the truck. So we're good.
Yeah, I guess. Call that even.
I know. I'm just worried. I'm honestly worried because, like, the dollar amount, I don't know how it is. We've never, like, had to do an insurance claim, but I've heard, like, once it hits a dollar amount, they write for a house, never for a vehicle.
We did it when I blew the window out. When I cut that turn in the RV too tight and it blew it out.
So you've broke 2 windows? 2 windows.
Well, I broke the back window twice.
Plus you broke the door of the car, the windshield of the car. You scratched up by the touchscreen. So this is Tyler.
Todd's mom is texting us. We missed what happened to the truck.
Well, if you're
Tim
watching,
and Sue, why don't you come out right now and go look at the truck? Right after you left, Todd moved the RV and he didn't connect the truck to the RV. And as he was coming up your hill,
it didn't lock in properly. I don't know.
We can talk about this later.
We can talk about this later over many, many drinks, because it's
bad.
Yeah.
They're going to be coming out to look at
that. Anyway, I'm hoping that it doesn't hit that dollar threshold where they want to replace the truck. 1, because I love Fiona. She's been a really good girl these years. And 2, trucks are really expensive right now and hard to find. And obviously we need a truck. It's not like we can replace it.
Your mom said tailgates aren't cheap.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you.
This is brand new information. Sue to the rescue.
This is like a new way for helpful hints from Susie.
Sorry, trying to catch up.
Yeah, we're trying comments. Gimme, ABBA. Oh, Mom's just looking now.
Inspecting it. Where am I from originally? I am from Labrador. If you want to just like open a Google browser and type in Labrador, it's one of the most. She's walking by going like loser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from a place called Labrador. It's very, very north in Canada. It's one of the most northern provinces. And it's very small. So the entire province only has, I think, 25,000 people. The town that I grew up in...
It's not a province on its own, is it? Is it a territory?
Newfoundland and Labrador, it's called.
Is it a territory or a province?
Province.
Oh.
But it was its own province before, and then Newfoundland and Labrador became like a province together.
Pac-Manned it.
Pac-Manned it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, ate it. And yeah, the town that I grew up in only had like 6,500 people, and the nearest town from there was about 3.5 hours that's very carbonated, that fizzy. I don't want to. You're gonna do that one day and I'm gonna yak and it's gonna be bad.
That's your issue.
So anyway, the point being is it's a really small place, and the nearest town from where I lived was 500 people, and it was like a 4-ish hour drive on a dirt road. It was so remote. Kathy said, can you please show us the tailgate? We can't because we're connected. Like, we have a microphone and everything.
I took a photo.
Oh, yeah. We were sending Crystal and Jazz voice.
That was my first instinct.
How long does it take to edit your videos? That's a really, they can't make that out.
It's bent, and then the side of the truck where the trailer landed, it crushed the back in. Because what happened was it was on a hill, so when it slid back, it dropped into the truck and then slid back against the tailgate and popped it out.
So, how long does it take to edit our videos? So, it used to take between, I would say, like 20 and 25 hours, like from start to finish, like uploading the clips and all of that kind of stuff. But probably like 6-ish months ago.
May,
is that when it was?
Yeah. So 5.
Yeah, 5-ish months ago. Somebody by the name of Lauren, who now has become like a really great friend of ours and is actually moderating this live.
Hey,
so
Lauren.
Hey, so if you notice, like if somebody leaves like a really rude comment, she just kicks them out of there.
She's our bouncer.
She's our bouncer, yeah. So yeah, she started helping us with, look, see Lauren Wigmore, and there's a little wrench. Hello. So she started helping us with our videos. So it's gotten down to probably like, I would say between 8 and 10 hours. But it's just because I'm like such a perfectionist. So now what we do is,
it also allows you time. It's interesting to have another person looking at the footage.
It's really important.
And seeing it, because we only see the footage through our having lived through it and perspective. So it's always interesting to see what she sees.
Yeah.
And then it also frees up Tyler's time to, she's got cool things that Tyler doesn't know how to do, and it allows Tyler time to learn cool things.
It's just like when we're working on projects that are at the scale that they're at, to do 25 hours in front of my computer when I just spent like 12 hours digging a ditch, it's just like, it's not possible to do everything.
Newsflash, we're figuring out each project as we go. If like, so there's a lot of research that goes into like before we start something.
Yeah. So Lauren,
and then a lot of research halfway through when we realize we're doing it wrong.
Yeah. So what Lauren does is she like helps me like put all of the clips in order, you know, like all the B-roll sequences that we do, like condenses the hours and hours and hours and hours of footage that we do, and like helps pick out the funny bits of the video so that when I come in and like put my like final touch on the video and make it feel like how I want the vlog to be, I'm not starting from scratch. And that has like, I can't even explain how much pressure that's taken off.
Well, it also allows us to still, so our busiest times are Friday night through Sunday night. And then like friends often message us and be like, you guys disappear on Sundays. As soon as that video goes up, we disconnect from the entire world and we don't reappear until Monday night or Tuesday morning. And so
oh, everyone's saying thank you, Lauren. Yes, thank you, Lauren. We love you.
It allows, like having Lauren on our team allows us to still enjoy the weekend. Tyler can take breaks and we can go for walks with the boys, or we can go to family dinners because they're always on weekends, which we always had to miss out on things. So it's been a huge help.
Yeah. Like my schedule before
2021 is the year of mental health. Mm-hmm. And like
100%.
It's allowed us to help with that.
Like previously I used to wake up Saturday mornings at like 6:37.
And I had to get up and make him coffee.
Yeah. You're damn right you did. And I would work like straight through to like 10 and then wake up Sunday morning and do it again. And now it's just like, it's just so much more enjoyable. So anyway, that's that.
A question I keep seeing coming up in the comments is, do you want children? Are children in the plans? All that type of stuff. And no. Just to set the record straight, not a kid person. I understand that they have a purpose in the planet, but
you know, like continuing the human race and
that type of thing. But I also intend to find the fountain of youth, so I'm going to keep this race going for a long time, honey. But I don't hate kids. I wouldn't bring them into my life.
I wouldn't wish that upon myself. No, we say that we don't want kids, but like a few years ago, I could never have imagined wanting this.
4 months ago, we never wanted a cat. And now I can't imagine not having Lily.
Hey, little squirrel.
Squirrel! In case you're wondering why her nickname is Squirrel, it's because we're all squirrel friends. And if you know, you know.
And if you don't, well, can't help you there.
Yeah. Heavenly Villa says that they have nieces and nephews. We have a nephew, Lachlan, and a niece, Avery, and Yeah.
They're going to be coming here soon, which will be really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, well, I'm hoping because like COVID is opening up and like hint, hint. So.
Well, like whenever, like they can. So.
Yeah, we were supposed to go see them, and it just got. Actually, the day we were supposed to leave, Charlie got sick, so we didn't go. So now we're just kind of like hoping that we brush them. Like, we've got a sick dog, so you need to pack up your entire family and come see us.
Brandon said, "Love from Texas. Why didn't you roll over to Jazz and Crystals for the shelter logic insanity?" that thing, we've put together 3 of those, and it is like they're very, very frustrating and difficult to put together. But Crystal and Jazz, this is a question we get asked all the time. They're about an hour and a half from where we are. Would you say around there?
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
It depends how fast you go.
Yeah, I can do it in about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. It's about an hour and a half, hour 15. There's 2 different routes. There's like the main highway, but we like to take the back roads because they're prettier. Like you get to drive through the mountains and stuff. So. Yeah. What's your favorite project so far? I would have to say the pond. I'm very proud of my pond. I did a lot of research because I was very adamant on not wanting an artificial liner in it.
Yeah. And people thought we were crazy. Anyone that
I've done so much work because like it's a mud pit, it's just gonna like mosquitoes. We're working on creating an entire, it's not like just a pond, we're working on building an ecosystem in it. So we're slowly introducing plants into it, and then we're going to introduce animals into it and really get that working and create really good water that we'll then use to water all of our gardens.
Yeah.
It's also just, there's something about sitting by water that's calming.
I agree. I would say my favorite project is probably the outdoor shower we built, just because we use it. It's the thing that we use the most. Like, I mean, obviously we use like our seating areas and the dome and like we use everything that we've done, but like the shower like was an actual game changer. Like it fundamentally changed how we could live on the land. Like
True.
We would have to come up like every day to Todd's parents' house to shower, which became like really sort of like a chore. Like, oh, we have to shower. And like it's amazing that we're able to come up here and do that, and they like allow us to do that. We're super appreciative, but like it's a lot of work to like
you gotta pack up, you gotta time it.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes you just get you're so tired at the end of the day, or you're so muddy, or you're just into something and you just want to get clean. There's the complexity of like packing up the boys and packing your clothes and going. So I did see someone say about winter shower. So we're not using the outdoor shower anymore. It's too cold here.
That's not true.
It is too cold.
You're so dramatic.
I would have the furnace on right now. I don't know. I was meant to be somewhere warm. I wasn't meant to be Canadian.
Yeah, it's funny.
But back to what I was going to say. For winter showers, we're not putting a shower in the dome. Complexities of it are just too much. But we're actually looking at building a shower in the greenhouse as a temporary option that we can recycle that gray water to water the plants for the winter. And then we'll be able to take it out of there once we have the house built. We won't need that anymore.
And like, so we're trying to figure out some sort of way to like engineer a shower that's like doesn't sit on the ground, that's like a little bit higher up, so all of that water like filters through and waters
or sits in a holding tank until it's pumped into the plants.
Ooh.
Or that's what I've been thinking of putting like their spill containment unit.
Yeah. Or like an RV gray water tank.
We can figure this out. Ooh.
The shower drips into the RV gray water tank. The RV gray water tank pumps using a 12-volt pump to irrigate all of the plants.
So don't pee in the shower anymore.
No, non-edible plants. Like plants that we're not.
We can still pee in the shower.
Yeah.
There's 2 types of people in the world: those who pee in the shower and those who lie. I
like that idea.
I think it's a good idea. The other option is
the greenhouse will always be warm.
Mm-hmm. The other option is, hear me out, we use a garden hose and just spray each other down.
Oh my. That actually is such a good idea though. Holy smokes. See, this is everything that we've done on the land comes together by just like talking out ideas, and then when we realize like
we
a
smoke
better
a lot of joints on walks and figure things out. The bad part is the land project would have moved along so much quicker if we took our phones or a notepad with us to write down these good ideas, because we have a lot of good ones. It's just remembering them.
I cannot believe that there are almost 4,000 people watching this live right now. Everyone that's watching this, if you could do us a huge favor, right below the video you're watching, there's a thumbs up button or a thumbs down button. Click that thumbs up button. It really, really, really helps our channel. That's like one of the biggest things that you can do.
Or sharing it.
Or sharing it.
Yeah. You know what? Send this video to Mima on Facebook. She's going to love it.
Mima. Dear Mima.
You'll love this.
No, but yeah, like that type of stuff on YouTube really helps. Like when you engage in content that you like, it helps. The YouTube algorithm is so wildly intelligent. It knows how to lump creators together. So if you do you see that? Literally 1,000 people just clicked that.
Wow.
It is really cool to have a community like this. Like,
I love you all.
Yeah, thank you. It means, it's really, really cool. Anyway, that's crazy that many people just did that then. It makes me like, I'm not really great at public speaking. And I was talking to Crystal and Jazz before.
As if.
Public speaking? If there were 4,000 people in an auditorium right now listening to me speak, I would have the shits. I would be so stressed out.
That's not good.
That's not good.
Depends.
I used to be a competitive swimmer, and I would go to like really, really big like championships. They were called meets. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I would go to these meets, and right before I would have to go on the dive block, and there would be so many people watching. This is TMI. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Anyway, I'm too far in now. I would have to go to the bathroom right before, because like the stress I would feel, it would come out of me
like poops.
All of everything that
you stress poop
big time.
Wow.
But I feel fine right now.
I knew you went to the bathroom a lot, but I wasn't expecting me. Like, I only need to.
If I'm stressed, it literally will turn to liquid like that and gone.
Wow.
I
mean, I have to take that over this.
What?
Eczema. When I get stressed, I get eczema outbreaks, and like my fingers are really sore and like ripped open.
You would take a small little piece. You can't even see it.
Because it's healing now. I'm not stressed. Don't know why. I said trucks come and go, but these coolers are good.
Okay, well, we ran circles around all that stuff. Do we have anything else to talk about? How long should we go on a live for, you guys?
Our record is 4 hours.
Yeah, we did do a 4-hour live once. That was
intense.
Energy.
Instagram shuts your lives down after an hour, or they used to. And it shut us down, and we just kept coming back. We said, can't cancel us. We were like Katy Party. Can't cancel Pride.
No. Did it have an intermission? No, not really.
Just when it canceled, and we'd be right back.
It had pee breaks. How do you make the coolers? That's a good question. Good answer.
Oh yeah, that's me. Well, so these, I don't actually make them. We get them made.
What do you mean?
I go down to the store. Because like our local wine store, like I know the lady now.
Todd's become friends. Okay.
She's come over.
Can I just say this? So if you've been watching the vlog for a while, you obviously know that we used to make wine in Todd's parents' basement.
And then we made vodka underneath the gooseneck of the trailer. And vodka in my parents' basement.
However, it's very time consuming. Like, we do like doing it, but
It's
like,
about...
It takes like 3 or 4 hours per batch.
Yeah, so it's 3.5 hours of work to make a batch, and it's $100 for the batch to buy it. So that gives you 30 bottles.
Yeah.
And we can pay an extra $50 for them to make it on site. It's the brewing fee. And then I just have to go and bottle it, which takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to sanitize, bottle, and cork. And for an extra $50 to save 3 hours of time when we've got everything that we have going on, including truck shopping, it's just worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna let that go, because Tyler's someone that you have to expose him to stuff and he'll become okay with it. Like, he's the type of person, if he was scared of elevators, you just lock him in an elevator for a day and he'll love it by tomorrow.
Big time exposure therapy. But yeah, like I don't know where we were going with that. It's just not an effective use of time. Like $50 for like 3 to 4 hours of very, very, very difficult work. Like, I would just rather, and this is the other thing. We've had batches.
One batch messed up out of like 20, and I have yet to hear the end of it, but you have not once ever taken the initiative to make a batch of wine. So
that's not true.
Your Google reviews are mute points here.
Mute points or moot points?
I don't know. What?
How would you
mute? Like, it's muted. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. What is it?
Moot.
Moot.
That's moot. Your point is moot.
Moot. M-O-O-T.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Means
that's
disregard.
That is dumb. I hate the English language. It needs to update.
So here's the tricky thing about Todd. He went to school in French until grade 11, 10?
Yeah, from 6 to 11 or something like that.
Yeah, so he's a little bit tricky with the English language, I would say.
Missed a lot of expressions.
Yeah, a lot of lines get crossed. Like, he'll say something so confidently, and it's like...
I still do math in French in my head. Like, if I do mental math.
It's time to cancel the English language. A moot point. Something that becomes irrelevant. Thank you, Ruth. A moot point. Cow's opinion.
I don't like that. Like, if there's another one I don't agree with. There's a bunch of expressions I don't agree. I don't agree with the town you grew up in.
Are we going to work the land next week? We're going to be doing work there. However, we'll be living here for the next while. We're looking at about a month.
Sorry, Mom.
Thanks, Rumi.
Oh my. Lynn down the street. Oh
yeah, that's familiar. What's that from?
Bananagrams. There was a video where
Lynn.
Lynn.
When people quote videos, we're always like, "Oh, that's so familiar. Where does that come from?"
Yeah.
And then we can never really remember. But you did a good job. You're really good at that. Like, really good.
I tell you.
I would never.
I might be dumb, but if you want something remembered, let me know. It's like I got a fifth sense. How is Charlie? Charlie's doing well. Charles, come here. Charlie. He's asleep. Charlie,
wake up.
What? Are we being robbed?
Come here, bud.
Come here, sweetie. Look.
Right again.
Everyone wants to say, look, buddy.
When you finish making a video, do you have Todd watch it? I would say maybe 15% of the time. 10%.
I don't typically enjoy watching our videos, though. So
Todd likes the video to be up and up for several hours so that nothing can be changed if he doesn't like it. But yeah. He always loves it. Every video I post, I think he likes it more than the last.
Kind of like each day I like you more than the last. Not really. Some days I can't stand him.
The truth's coming out. But I feel like I've really been, especially lately, I feel like I'm evolving.
Last week was different, though. Last week's video was the first time in history
that's true.
I watched the entire thing.
Why was that? Because I finished early.
He finished early, and it was actually kind of good that I did, because I did give some corrections. caught a few mistakes.
Oh, actually, this would be super helpful for all of you that are like commenting right now. How do you feel about how Todd and I are pretty chaotic in the sense we never post at a consistent time. Like we always post on Sundays, anywhere from like 3 p.m. to like
Monday at 2.
7 p.m. Like there's always like a 4-hour window. And the reason for that is I'm always editing the videos like and perfecting and making like tweaks and all that right up until I post. Do you think it would be better if you knew like exactly when we were going to post? And if so, what time?
Oh, that's a can of worms. Do you want a consistent time? Do not ask for time, because everyone's going to have their own perfect time. Same as my time that's perfect is 100% different than yours. But would you like a consistent time?
Yeah. All the other YouTubers are like, you got to post at a consistent time. And I'm like, let me live my life.
But if you read articles, YouTube themselves says that posting at a consistent time is not proven to increase.
Oh, mixed bag. Half of people are like, yes, please, consistent. Yes, please. No, you do you, girl. Yes, yes,
yeah,
no,
do
no.
not lock yourself into it. Like,
well, this was helpful. Thanks for the help, you guys. Post when works for you. Yes, please.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I would going back to maintaining a healthy work-life mental health balance, having that pressure, because there are times where so our camera, the microphone that we use is on top of the camera and they're synced up, but sometimes it'll mess up or
I don't know if we've ever shown.
Like, this isn't the lens we normally use. The one we normally use got ruined by an excavator. I've been joking about the truck. We can joke about the broken lens. It's right here if you want to see it.
I smashed her real good.
It is so lucky that you stopped. If he had even a microsecond longer on that joystick in the excavator, it would have broke the camera.
So yeah, this big microphone, sometimes it like disconnects. So like then we find out the audio is all messed up and it's the whole thing.
This is our smash lens.
Devastating.
Like it still works, but the issue is right here.
You can't zoom, so it doesn't actually work.
It still records, but it's open. So we're really nervous using it at the land because there's so much dust. We don't want to get dust into it. So we've got it in a bag, secure now.
We wouldn't want to break it anymore.
The issue is we've
want to put her back in.
We've broken a lens before, and unfortunately it's like just as expensive as buying a new lens. But right now, where do you send a lens to get repaired, because everywhere is out of parts? So we're making do with our old lens.
Yeah, she's a little noisy, but whatever.
That's okay.
That's all. That's all.
That's all good. We just take a little coffee break because she does this. She's also broken. Is that the one I dropped? No, I didn't drop that on the car. How did that one? It just started breaking.
This one?
Yeah.
I think that this was because the condensation, because the RV was so wet last year.
We started storing our camera partway through the winter in like a water bag, like we would take kayaking, hoping to keep the condensation away from it, but it didn't work on that lens. So it does a grinding noise as it's in low light conditions trying to adjust the focus. And yeah. So we just got to work through that now. Work through a broken lens. Still can't go with. This looks like something you can make a coffee cup out of, though.
A coffee cup?
Have you seen those? It's like, oh, it's like it looks like this, but it's a coffee cup. It's a way to sneakily have like a drink in something, like your coffee, but you're a camera person. It just looks like a lens.
What sort of camera person walks around with a lens in their hand?
It's like a novelty thing. Like it's a travel mug, like our coffee cups that we have, but it looks like a lens so that you could slip it in your bag.
Oh.
It's like a novelty. He doesn't get these things.
I try.
Oh my. All right. Well.
What do you think? An hour and a half?
Yeah. I feel like we've got to go like move the trailer back and then figure out if we can disconnect the truck. That's a big one for tomorrow. Calling the insurance, that's going to take up, because I have a feeling that's not going to be a quick call.
No, it's not going to be.
It takes like 40 minutes to get a hold of an agent as it is.
Couldn't believe you did that.
I can't believe you broke the back window twice.
Before we leave, actually, let's make it an hour and a half. Let's make it solid. So
so we got 4 minutes.
No.
How many? 6 minutes. Let's get some questions in here.
Let's get some rapid fire burning questions that you've always been wondering when you're watching our vlogs. Hit us. Ooh.
What's the best binge shows? Downton Abbey. Couldn't turn it off when it started.
The morning show. Please.
I'm getting tired of the drama.
The drama.
It's too dramatic.
You're too dramatic.
I don't love you.
Todd's eyebrow, he fell when he was a child and smoked her for a real one.
Yeah.
Never grew back.
Did not grow back.
Oh.
Okay, we got rapid fire. Do you watch Curse of Oak Island? No. Who said I love you first? Me. Would you like to have chickens or pigs?
Where are you reading these from?
Right here.
Oh, you're up higher.
I would like to have chickens one day. No to pigs. They're too smart. I have a lens.
You're going way too slow.
I can't read fast.
Your favorite YouTuber? Johnny Harris.
Easy.
Next vacation spot?
Over on that part of the driveway at my parents'.
No, we're in this January. We're really hoping like we can get away for a week or two, and I think we'll probably end up doing like van life somewhere. South America somewhere.
I also really want to go back to Banff in Alberta.
I don't in the winter.
We literally had a conversation about how if we're like going somewhere warm, we could swing in. It's just, there's something special about Banff because we always went every couple months as an escape from our life in Edmonton. And it's still, whether it's nostalgic or not, I still kind of want to go back to explore that space in the current state of my life that I'm in now to see if it still has those same memories or if it's something that should be locked in a box and keep those memories sacred, if that makes sense. When is the dome going up?
This week, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Who knows what sort of bumps along the road we'll get into.
The deck's going to fall over.
Daniel Bryce said, I love that you guys include bickering and arguing in your videos. It's honestly not an intentional decision.
That's literally just how we are.
Just how anything that happens in the week, we include. And I think when you start removing those types of things, it just becomes, there's enough inauthenticity like on YouTube as it is that we're not going to like.
You might as well just tune into HGTV or something like that.
Yeah,
if you want.
It just doesn't make sense.
Someone said, can Todd do Lily's voice? She doesn't have one yet. We're really stuck between like a very dainty like, or like, no, a very like, type voice or a posh British. So we're working through things with her and allowing her to find her voice.
We're on a journey on there.
Oh, where's supper, big boys? Mama's hungry.
What's that show?
Oh my god, it's the Netflix one with Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph does it. God, I can't remember.
Where it's like the teenager. It's the animated show where it's the teenagers and then their sex drive is represented as like a monster.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
I can't place it.
People are probably like, what show? Will Boyd said, what insulation are you putting under your dome deck? So we had a full plan to insulate it with Reflectix, a double layer, which will make it R21. We still might do that. However, we are going to get some quotes for spray foam. Big mouth, yes. Oh, baby. So, yeah, we're going to get some... Big Mouth is the show that we were just referencing.
And so Maya Rudolph's character in it, we're stuck if that's Lily's voice.
Bubble bath. She says that in that show, too, I think.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Bubble bath.
Bubble bath. Yeah, so I think we're going to just figure that out. We're waiting on some quotes. If the spray foam, like I've always heard spray foam is really, really expensive. So I don't know for sure that we'll do that, but we'll see.
Okay. Can we get the cooler recipe? Oh, sorry, we never got to it. So about the coolers, they're made on site there. You can make them at home if you want, but they don't turn out as clear. because she's very good at what she does. There is a little bit of sedimentation in the bottom.
Sedimentation.
Sedimentation?
Sediment.
English. And then also because she makes them on site, she carbonates them as well. So when we open these, there's a little...
Do you have brothers and sisters? I have a sister.
I have a brother.
Todd, do you ever get to speak French?
No.
There you go.
I haven't used it since I left high school. I can read French perfectly fine now, but conversationally, I struggle.
Yeah, it's a little bumpy.
It's a little dicey. Just like my English.
Scared of looky-loos invading your privacy in the land. We used to be more scared about it, to be honest, but we invested it was like a couple $100. I didn't really want to spend it, but it was worth it. We ordered these solar-powered cameras from Amazon that connect to our Wi-Fi. So no matter where we are in the world, we can open up like an app that shows us like our front gate, the woods,
and it notifies
the
us
RV.
if there's a movement over a certain like weight or something. I don't know how it works, but we'll get a notification to our phone. And then on top of that, we took, you know, those putters when you go to like mini putt that you can putt both ways. We have that. We found one in my parents' shed, one of those like bi-directional putters.
So look out. That's come to our land. You're going to get hit with a tea club.
We're going to hit that head through the windmill.
The cameras, though, what I wanted to say about them, I don't know how it works, but even if it's like pitch black, it still shows
night vision.
Yeah, but how does that work? My camera doesn't do night vision.
It's shit.
Shit.
Didn't get it.
All right, you guys. Well,
we're going to go.
Thanks for joining us for another chaotic energy day. Do you have anything else to add?
No.
No?
No.
This is fun. We're going to leave this up for probably 24 or 48 hours, so you can rewatch it or do whatever.
Send it to me, Ma.
Send it to me, Ma. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Leave some comments down below. And check out our Patreon. We have it linked below. We're going to do another live like this on Wednesday. What's the date? October 28th, I think.
7.
7?
Today's 4. So Monday 5, Tuesday 6, Wednesday 7.
7. Okay. October 27th at 8 p.m. on our Patreon. And it's going to be like more this. We're sort of nervous just because how many of you are watching. So make sure you check that out.
And we'll be back next Sunday with
for a regular video.
Yeah. You won't have to deal with this BS.
Yeah. Oh, I had to say
and we're back.
We're back again. We put a poll on our Instagram last night, and so many of you want an RV tour. And we're thinking that when we do an RV tour, we're going to do like all the nooks and crannies. So like all the drawers, everything we're going to open. And I think what our plan is for that is we're going to do like a special video for that.
A Wednesday video.
Yeah. So not this coming Wednesday, but next Wednesday.
What's that date going to be? November 3rd.
November 3rd. Well, stay tuned for that. But I think we're going to do like a full RV tour to really like
show you what it's like in here.
Yeah. And give you the before and the after and the middle. And
Charlie's going to be the tour guide. This is where I taste my tail.
That's why my breakfast. Thanks, guys. Give this video a thumbs up.
I got no thumb. Do bother. All right.
On that note, thank you so much for joining us. As always, have an amazing, wonderful week.
And we'll see you next Sunday.
See you Sunday, guys.
Bye.
Oh, no, we need to figure out how to end this.
Big red button.
End stream. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.